everyone Will everyone please rise for the national anthem? Leading us is a 2002 Chicago-Kent graduate, Galen Caldwell. Galen received his BA in vocal performance in 1997 from Chicago State University and currently holds the rank of sergeant with the Chicago Police Department in the Legal Affairs Division. Please welcome Galen.
So proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may be seated. Good afternoon, and welcome to the 2016 commencement ceremony of Chicago-Kent College of Law at Illinois Tech. Today, I am pleased to welcome our 2016 graduating class, as well as their families and friends, to celebrate this great milestone. We celebrate your graduation as a community, and know that without family and friends, many of whom are here, this milestone would not have been possible. Joining me on stage are Illinois Tech President Alan Cramb, my colleagues, Chicago-Kent faculty, as well as alumni and friends of Chicago-Kent. And what a year this has been. The students in front of you have argued in the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals. They've won national writing awards and trademark. There have been about 10 published scholarly articles in journals. And as a group, they've had simply an amazing year in national advocacy competitions. Teams from Chicago-Kent have won the Appellate Lawyers Association and William McGee National Civil Rights Competitions. You also received the 2 Best Advocate Awards in the nation at the American Bar Association Appellate Advocacy Competition. You were in the 2 Best Advocate Awards and were 3rd nationally in the Thurgood Marshall Mock Trial Competition, and you finished 2nd in the nation at the White Collar Trial Advocacy Competition and in the IP National Moot Court Competition. Indeed, we are an advocacy powerhouse, ranked number 2 and number 3 in the country. So I hope you all can come back after graduation to give back to those competitions and to those teams, as so many alums have done before you. But you as students have accomplished so much more. You have helped 600 litigants at the Self-Help Web Center, and you have volunteered thousands of hours at places such as Cabrini Green Legal Aid and Equip for Equality. And you have traveled to New Orleans to help those impoverished have a chance at a better life. You have also gained the skills necessary to serve corporations and governments, individuals, and social causes. You are well positioned to parlay those skills into professional success in a constantly changing world. I wish you well in your careers, whether in law or elsewhere, and I encourage you to use the skills you have learned ambitiously but with integrity and civility. Commencement is a moment to pause, to be proud, to reflect on what you have accomplished and hope to accomplish in the future. It is a rite of passage steeped in history and witnessed by those you love and by the faculty here who have seen you grow into the role of attorneys and advocates. Our first speaker represents the JD class of 2016, this year's valedictorian, Angelo Christipher. Originally from Indian Park, Illinois, Angelo earned his degree in mechanical engineering from the University of Wisconsin at Madison. At Chicago, Kent, Angelo earned multiple awards for achieving highest grades in several courses, served as executive articles editor for the Law Review, and received many honors from moot court competitions. After the bar exam, Angelo will join the IP Counseling and Transactions Practice Group at Nixon Peabody here in Chicago. Please welcome Angelo Christipher.
Well, thank you, Dean Krent. Good afternoon, families, friends, faculty, and fellow graduates. I'm greatly honored to address the Chicago-Kent class of 2016 here today. This group is comprised of immensely talented, hardworking, and successful individuals. As I'm sure you're all aware at this point, the class of 2016's individual and collective accomplishments are nothing short of incredible. Combined with the wealth of knowledge and experience they brought with them to law school, I'm confident this group can solve any problem you throw at them. It's truly an honor to be up here today in front of all of you. So after finishing exams this past week, I realized just how quickly the past 3 years have gone by. It feels like orientation was just yesterday, and I'm sure I'm not alone in feeling that way. Reflecting on the past few years, I think that there are 3 things that today's celebration is really about. First, today is about remembering why we're here. And by here, I don't just mean Chicago-Kent, but why law school? It's often unfairly stereotyped as this difficult, intimidating place. And in today's world, it seems as though there are more obstacles and reasons than ever not to go. Yet, here we are. Each of us has a compelling reason why. For me, my inspiration probably stems back to a mock trial we did in 4th grade. Since defending the big bad wolf against some very serious allegations by the 3 little pigs, I always knew I wanted to go to law school. The point is, whatever your reason is for being here today, don't lose sight of that. Second, today is about how we got here. To even walk through the door the first day, we went through years of schooling, some of us other careers, and of course, the dreaded LSAT. Didn't get any easier from there either. Think back on our first year. In just the first few weeks, we quickly learned to brief cases. We coped with the Socratic method and wrote a closed memo. We've come a long way since then. As part of that process, all of us have been stressed, frustrated, and unsure of ourselves at times, especially that first year. But as we sit here today, I'm confident that all of us have found the rigors and challenges of law school to be ultimately rewarding. Third, and most importantly, today isn't just about why and how we got here, but who helped us get here. Law school has been a huge commitment for us, but it's also affected our families and friends. Today is about recognizing those who supported us as much as it is our own accomplishments. We've also helped each other get here. Nearly everything one can accomplish in law school, big or small, truly cannot be done alone. Law school has been more of a collaboration than a competition here. We've all had a hand in the collective success of this group. So as we leave Chicago-Kent and look to the future, strive to fulfill the reasons why you came here. Let that guide you in your career. All of the work you've done has prepared you for the trials ahead, literally. Today's going to go by fast. Be sure to enjoy it, celebrate, and thank your family and friends. On behalf of the class of 2016, I'd like to thank the Chicago-Kent faculty, administration, and staff for all of their hard work in turning us into soon-to-be lawyers. Personally, I'd like to thank my parents, family, and friends for their support. I certainly wouldn't be up here without them. And finally, I'd like to thank the class of 2016. You guys are what makes Chicago-Kent the great place that it is. Congratulations, good luck, and thank you.
This year, our LLM class speaker is Benjamin Mankut, a graduate in the International Intellectual Property Law program. From France, Benjamin earned a master's degree in private law at the Sorbonne, another master's degree in intellectual property at Paris 2, and prior to coming to Chicago-Kent, he worked as an intellectual property intern in the law firm Valedictorian. Benjamin plans to work as a lawyer in the music industry for the benefit of songwriters and artists, and will take the bar this summer in Paris. Benjamin?
Thank you, Dean Krent. My fellow LLM and JD graduates, Deans Krent, Harris, and Sowle, professors, distinguished guests, families, and friends, it is an honor to stand here in front of you today as the class of 2016 LLM speaker. Being an international student first came with concerns and uncertainty. Getting used to living in another country was harder than most of us anticipated. All of us, LLM students, had to get accustomed to the American way of life. Personally, transitioning from the narrow streets of Paris to Chicago's endless avenue was not an easy step. I will not even mention foregoing croissant for deep dish pizza or pretending to understand the rules of baseball. Then came our first days here at Chicago-Kent College of Law. We all had to survive law school in our home countries, and yet we all decided to start again in a different language, in a 50 states, beyond complex legal system. I remember very well the looks on our faces when Professor Lee here explained to us that we would have to write a 30-page thesis in English. It did not look good. As the days became weeks, concerns gave way to excitement. We understood that all of our differences were not handicaps, but instead precious assets. All of our eclectic backgrounds and cultures started to merge with each other. Chicago-Kent allowed us to learn from one another, to help each other, and to finally be here together today. Before this adventure, none of us would have believed that we could take one whole year of legal classes in English, side by side with la crème de la crème of American students here. Thanks to all of the wonderful professors here, we are now able to work with American law, and we're now able to exercise our profession in English, even though our accents will probably stick forever. Our days here were short, nights were busy, non-existent sometimes, but here we are, finally graduating, reaping the rewards for all of our hard work. The level of attention and availability the Chicago-Kent administration and staff offered us went far beyond academics alone. As you all know, my country has been struck by attacks of unprecedented violence and cowardice last November. One of these attacks took place one block from where I live in Paris in one of my favorite bars, and personally affected one of my fellow classmates here at Chicago-Kent. In this moment of shock and sadness, when we wished nothing more than to be close from our friends and families, the school administrators, faculty and staff were incredibly considerate and understanding. We will never forget the professors and fellow students' comforting words and sincere sympathy as we were going through these hard times. In addition to all the knowledge and skills we gain here, the relationships we forge together are certainly one of the dearest enrichments that we will all bring back home with us. From starting as classmates, many of us became great friends, and all of us are now a family. Wherever we go, we can all be confident that we can rely on a network of highly skilled lawyers around the globe that will help us no matter what the legal issue, and hopefully for free. I want to thank my family and friends for their unconditional support, and on behalf of the 2016 LLM graduating class, I want to thank the Chicago-Kent administration, staff for this unforgettable year, and for the wonderful future it helped us shape. Thank you, and congratulations, fellow graduates.
As is our tradition, as was our tradition, I'd like to highlight a few members of the graduating class who've been recognized by their peers for their extraordinary contributions to the law school's life. The Bar and Gavel Awards honor those who have provided outstanding service to the college, the community, and the legal profession. Please stand when I call your name, but hold any applause until the end. Alexandra Brinkmeyer, Peter Chun, Tracy Harkins, Lindsay Hicks, Amber Lukowitz, Brianna Mays, Matthew McElwee, Annie Moto, Lydia Ness, Wee Win, Andrew Sharp, and Matthew Smart. Congratulations on your achievements. You may be seated. Thirteen guests on stage. Our alumni are members of the Chicago, Kent, and Illinois Institute of Technology. They have the special opportunity to be with their children, spouses, other relatives, while serving as a legacy hooder and welcoming them to the alumni community. This special tradition allows family members to bestow the doctoral hoods on their graduates when their names are called. And they are Alyssa Carter, who will be hooded by her father, Daniel Carter, the class of '84, Christipher Collender, hooded by his parents, Danny Collender, class of '79, and Deborah Collender, class of '79. Caitlin DeBoer will be hooded by her father, Douglas DeBoer, class of '87. Daniel Kruger will be hooded by his father, Christopher Kruger, class of '04. James McKay, hooded by his father, James McKay, class of '84. Anna Matalongo, hooded by her father, John Matalongo. Annie Moto, hooded by her brother, Michael Moto, class of '07. Melinda Pledgy, hooded by her father-in-law, the Honorable William Pledgy, class of '76, and sister-in-law, Nicole Pledgy, class of '08. Elizabeth Romano, hooded by her sister, Amalia Romano, class of '14. Ana Rueda, hooded by her brother, IIT, class of 2011, Jorge Rueda. And Matthew Smart, hooded by his father, Hugh Smart, class of '85. And now, I'm privileged to introduce our commencement speaker for today's ceremony, Amy Campanelli, Cook County Public Defender and a 1987 graduate of Chicago, Kent. Public Defender Campanelli is a 23-year veteran of the Cook County Public Defender's Office and has spent almost 3 decades representing the indigent throughout the criminal justice system. At the Defender's Office, she supervises more than 500 attorneys and over 75 investigators. She's only the second woman to serve as public defender for this county. She's a sharp critic of our current criminal justice system and a zealous advocate for the rights of the accused, and hopes to use her office as a platform to work towards legislative reform of the sentencing process in particular. Please join me in welcoming Amy Campanelli.
Well, I didn't know when I accepted today that I would have something in common with the LLM speaker and the valedictorian, because I noticed that you said you represented the big bad bear in 4th grade, so you'd make an excellent public defender, and I love all things French. So thank you. Thank you, President Cramb, Dean Krent, all the faculty, proud graduates, and even prouder family and friends of the class of 2016. Thank you for inviting me today to give the commencement address. There's time until tomorrow to start thinking about the bar examination. Today is reserved for celebrating your achievements and to recognize that you accomplished what many have not. You have earned a Juris Doctorate degree from one of the finest law schools in the United States. I know, since I was part of the class of 1987 from Kent. To honor your achievement, I want to pause to have all your families and friends give you a round of applause. Let's let them know how proud we are of them today. As I said, I graduated from Kent in 1987. I was young, I was optimistic. I was filled with hopes and dreams, but also concerned over whether they would be realized. I only knew that I wanted to use my legal education to do the right thing, to make a difference. My prayer for you is that in the coming years, you also strive to do the right thing and to make a difference in the world. Law school is an amazing experience. It shapes how you think about the problems of today and tomorrow. Over the past several years, you've been transformed. You have learned how to focus on an issue and analyze it. You have been taught to question all assumptions and how to be creative problem solvers. You have been empowered to become agents of change. How did this happen? It happened because you've learned about the legal system of the United States, a system that contains the seeds of change in its structure. And you learned it here at Chicago Kent Law School. Kent formed me into the lawyer I am today. One time, when I was a young assistant public defender in court, I was just 3 years out of law school. I filed an extensive brief in a juvenile case. After the judge read it, he looked at me and he said, "Are you an appellate lawyer?" I said, "No, Judge, but I graduated from Kent Law School, and they taught me how to write." No one ever filed extensive briefs in juvenile cases, but Kent made me understand that I had to go the extra mile and not simply rely on what others did before me. Our country was founded on the rule of law. The founding Declaration of Independence made it clear. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. As the public defender of Cook County, I have a special place in my heart to help the downtrodden and the powerless. Lawyers are the ones who ensure protection of an otherwise powerless person. It is through vigilance and action that our rights and liberties are preserved. That is why we need you to provide that protection. The protection provided by lawyers is crucial. More than 50 years ago today, Clarence Earl Gideon submitted a handwritten petition from a Florida jail after he was convicted and sentenced to prison without the benefit of counsel. In his simple petition, he understood how important lawyers were. He wrote, "It makes no difference how old I am, or what color I am, or what church I belong to, if any. I did not get a fair trial. I requested the court to appoint me an attorney, and the court refused." Well, the Supreme Court of the United States agreed with him. Justice Hugo Black, who wrote the majority opinion, he emphasized the unique power of our legal system to serve as an equalizing force. America guarantees fair trials in which every defendant stands equal before the law. The law underlines our political system, our economic system, and of course, our civil and criminal justice systems. By learning about the history of the law and about the Constitution, you have been given a golden key to help others in all walks of life. As future lawyers, you will and can be at the center of an important issue that our society is facing: global conflict, food safety and security, civil unrest, human rights, public health, the role of technology and the internet, environmental issues, corporate governments, government accountability, and crime and punishment. Regardless of the problem, the law and lawyers will always have a crucial role to play. You have been taught to think critically, to solve problems. You have now the knowledge and skills to address individual and societal problems in an analytical and rational way. No other professional education imparts this combination of knowledge and skills and empowers its holders to use them in 100 different ways, from defending the rights of the marginalized and poor like I do, to running a multinational corporation, working for law reform and policy, or to continually strive to understand the meaning and application of our great Constitution. I'm not asking a lot from you, just to use your education and skills to change the world for the better. To do that, you first have to follow your dream. Whatever your dream is, it's personal to you. But if you follow it, you will live a life of passion, doing something you love, and you will make those around you better for it. It doesn't matter whether you dream to be the President of the United States or to hang your shingle out and be a sole practitioner. What matters is that you live it every single day. For all of us, time is limited. Don't waste it in someone else's life or someone else's dream. Don't let the critics and the naysayers drown out your inner voice or suppress your vision. Follow your heart. Do what you love. If you follow your dream, doors will open for you where you didn't know that doors even existed. And don't wait. Too often, people postpone doing what they truly believe in. All of us can find excuses to delay. Probably when you delayed that paper too late in law school. We think that we will live out our passion in the future. But remember, nothing happens in the future. Whatever happens, happens now. As the poet Langston Hughes eloquently observed, what happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun? Live your life and your dream starting today. When I first started law school, I thought I wanted to be an international lawyer because of my French business background. But after spending the summer between my first and second year of law school, reading 19th century French antitrust law in the stacks of the University of Chicago Law Library, that dream ended. I knew it wasn't for me. But another dream started, and I am still living that dream today. Some of you will go into academia or become patent lawyers, tax lawyers, corporate lawyers, or criminal lawyers. To fulfill your dream, however, the most important thing is that you need to care. Caring will bring passion to the forefront of anything you do and will make you a better lawyer for each and every one of your future clients. Whatever you choose to do, being an attorney is rewarding, but it's also an awesome responsibility. You're not embarking on a job where you clock in from 9 to 5. You are entering a profession, and you will be serving others. Once you have your license to practice law, whether you litigate, advocate, or mediate, you won't be speaking just for yourself. You will be speaking for someone else who depends on you, perhaps in a divorce, a real estate transaction, a corporate merger, a tax dispute, or a murder case. Your skills will extend beyond you and your personal needs. You will be speaking for those who cannot or do not know how to speak for themselves. It is a burden, but I believe it is also one of the highest privileges that can be bestowed on any one of us. To be that professional, you must have confidence and esteem in yourself. The person you are with 24 hours a day, 7 days a week is you. As the great UCLA basketball coach John Wooden once said, be more concerned with your character than your reputation, because your character is what you really are. What your reputation is merely what others think you are. Character comes from confidence and reaching your own sense of inner peace and stability. As a professional, you're already a leader. In this crowd that I see before me, there's future legislators, corporate presidents, and judges of our state and our nation. Others will look up to you, and they will follow your word. You will have the power to change things. I ask that you always change things for the better. And change comes from taking action. Every story that you've ever connected with, every leader you've ever admired, every little thing you've ever accomplished is the result of taking action. When I was sitting where you are, I never thought that I would be part of a national discussion about poverty, mass incarceration, policing, and racial injustice. But these are the issues I discuss with leaders in our great city and the Department of Justice to ensure that our legal system serves everyone faithfully and fairly, regardless of race, gender, and socioeconomic status. Be proud of what you have accomplished, but also be humble. With responsibility comes humility. Remember, you will be serving others, your clients, not lording over them. Work hard, but at the same time, you must take time for yourself. Despite what you think, you are not Superman. Personally, for a while, I thought I was Wonder Woman. I even have a coffee cup that says I'm Wonder Woman. But I have to come down to earth, and I know that no one can do everything. You cannot do it all. Do one thing at a time and do it well. Give each experience all your attention. Resist being distracted by other sights and sounds, other thoughts and tasks. Balance your work with time for yourself and your family so that when you do focus on the work at hand, you give it your undivided attention. Recharging and recognizing that you have limits is necessary for the balance. Don't be afraid of setbacks. Type A personalities, which probably covers a lot of attorneys, often have problems with failure. We see it as a deficiency to be avoided. In fact, it's exactly the opposite. Embrace failure, since that is how you learn to do better with the next issue, the next client, the next day. It may sound strange to quote him, but Michael Jordan made one of the most astute comments I've ever heard on the importance of failure. He said, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." The essence of that statement is that failure is pervasive, but it defines you only if you succumb to it. Use that failure to do better next time. Never give up, and do what you know is right, even if it seems to be a lost cause. In a classic movie from 1939, I know that's a really long time ago for you kids, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, the hero was railing against corrupt politicians, even though he thought it was futile. But he never gave up, because he explained, lost causes are the only causes worth fighting for. I have fought lost causes my entire career. There's nothing more rewarding. At the start of my address, I recognized your families and your friends and asked for applause. It is they who supported you through college, through law school, and still support you today, emotionally and financially. Remember them and never forget them, since you did not get to graduation day alone. No one is an island. You are here because of that support. I could not have gotten through law school without my parents. My mother taught me the importance of standing up for others, of refusing to accept what was wrong, and refusing to accept intolerance. And my father helped me, sometimes until 4 in the morning, by typing my papers for class. When I was in law school, we had typewriters, not computers. It was the 1980s, after all. I would write my papers by hand, and my dear father would type each page as I handed it to him. Just as my mother and father were there for me, helping me through love and effort, I know each of you has a similar story. You've probably heard the phrase, "It takes a village to raise a child." Well, it takes a village of family and friends to raise a law student and to turn him or her into a lawyer. Since I'm the public defender, I want to take this opportunity to tell you that, in my opinion, being a public service attorney is the most satisfying profession of all. Making money certainly has its place, but if you can devote time to public service, either full-time or through part-time pro bono work, you will find it more rewarding and more gratifying than a mountain of paychecks and bonuses. Helping a family stay together and avoid eviction, helping a client keep his job to stay out of jail, or reuniting a child with his mother and father will lift your souls in ways that I cannot describe. Fighting on behalf of those who need the help the most by demanding equality and fairness, and in the process, sometimes really irritating a judge, will make you realize that at times, lawyers truly do God's work. As future lawyers, you are the protectors of the poor, the wall against totalitarianism, the guardians of democracy. I believe that every voice that speaks up for the rule of law really does God's work. As President Obama remarked last week, it was the rule of law that brought an end to violence in Northern Ireland and to an end to apartheid in South Africa. There are still so many challenges and issues that you can confront and correct. But as the President told the class of 2016 at Howard University, as complicated and sometimes intractable as these challenges may seem, the truth is that your generation is better positioned than any before you to meet these challenges. This is true of all of you today. As lawyers, you're still going to have to pull occasionally that all-nighter. Sorry, but you will have homework for pretty much the rest of your career. Nobody told you this, but when your friends are at the Cubs or Sox games, or at the Cubs-Sox World Series later this year, you may have to be at home reading cases and preparing to defend a client the next day. Why? because that client is depending on you for everything. Because of what you have learned here at Chicago-Kent, you will have the confidence to step out of your comfort zone, to try something bold, to win within the bounds of professionalism and ethics and the law. When you have fought for a client with every fiber of your body and soul, and with all the skill and knowledge that you have learned from this great law school, you will understand how privileged you are to have followed your dream and joined this amazing profession. Supreme Court Justice Abe Fortas wrote to his most noted client, Clarence Earl Gideon, that each era finds an improvement in law for the benefit of mankind. This is your era to build on what others have done before you. Thank you, and best of luck in your future.
I want to thank Amy for her inspirational words, but also give a little note of condolences to those of you who will have to face her in court in the next couple of years. It's now with great pleasure that I present the 2016 graduating class of Chicago-Kent College of Law, starting with the candidates for the Master of Laws and then turning to the Juris Doctor degrees. I call upon and welcome back Associate Dean Steve Sowle to introduce the individual graduates.
Thank you, Dean Krent, and greetings to our graduates and guests. On page 10 and 11 of today's program, you will note that certain 2016 Juris Doctor candidates have earned a certificate in one of the following programs: business law, criminal litigation, environmental and energy law, intellectual property law, international and comparative law, labor and employment law, litigation and alternative dispute resolution, public interest law, or the praxis programs. Only the names of those graduates who are present today will be read, and we ask that you please hold your applause until all candidates have received their degrees. First, I have the honor of presenting the 2016 recipients of the Master of Laws degree in U.S. International and Transnational Law, Family Law, Financial Services Law, International Intellectual Property, Taxation, and Trial Advocacy for International Students. Will the candidates please rise? Khalid Al-Hindi. Abdulaziz M. Althafer. Igor Bylinski. Anna Borgiak. He Kai. Eason Chen. Anna Davatadze. Oleg Feduniak. Fang Fu. Siki Fu. Nino Georgidze. Volodymyr Gritsai. Shenyu Wan, Xian Ho, Carol Hu, Wengxiun Wan, Masa Jamshidi, Vasil Kaviuk, Kamenlak Kampen, Nino Karshaladze Gillikin, Ilona Kislova, Jing Liu, Yang Liu, Marian Lasso, Sopiko Mesvilishvili, Marina Meski, Kaiuhao Min, Natalie T. Mulberger, Superporn Nedkian, Natanan Pramwan Porn City, D. Ren, Na Ren, Roxana B. Sokol, Pavel K. Soruchinsky, Pongkan Sortha, Osana Stepanian, Alexander Tatarinse, Tiratip Thongmirkam, Ostap Virhun, Yilin Wan, Peng Wang, Kijia Wu, Junji Yamamoto, Ji Yang, Maxim Yemetz, Jin Zhang, Lydia Zema, receiving the degree of Master in Laws in Family Law, Sharon Sofiak, Esquire. Receiving the degree of Master of Laws in Financial Services, Mei Hao. Yuijun Rong. Receiving the degree of Master of Laws in International Intellectual Property Law, Yuan Gan. Yang He. Yi Hu. Sharanya Jayaraman, Yan Giao, Juan Felipe Jimenez Trujillo, Benjamin M. Mankut, Yang Qi, Adnan Shafi, Yi Tian, Vaibhav Vora, Chen Wang, Zayuki Wang, Huan Xian, Han Zhang, Zhang Tianwu, Ying Zhang, Jingyuan Zhao, receiving the degree of Master of Laws in Taxation, Gina Jones, Angela M. Ostrowski, receiving the degree of Master of Laws in Trial Advocacy for International Students, Kai Zhang, Yixu Zhang, Lingfeng Zhu, that concludes the presentation of the candidates for the Master of Laws degree. Please join me in congratulating the graduates. I now have the honor of presenting the 2016 recipients of the Juris Doctor degree. For those fall graduates who have taken and passed the bar exam, I will append Esquire when calling their names. Again, please hold your applause until the names of all the candidates have been read. Yormari Acosta Gonzalez, Esquire. Jason R. Adams. Natalie Y. Adillo. Juan Carlos Agundez. Taylor Nicole Albin. Ahmed M. Aljuer. Emily M. Alper. Ryan J. Backman. Nora K. Baker. Joseph V. Baldwin. Jenny M. Balkis. Brittany M. Barclay. Tomas Barrera. Alexander J. Beeler. Wyatt J. Burkover. Megan B. Bishop, Esquire. Andrew Bisping. Anthony P. Bonagura. Patrick Brady. Nicholas P. Brankel. Alexandra C. Brinkmeyer. Brandy Zarina Burton. Xiaoyin Cao Esquire. Alexa M. Carino. Orlando Carino Esquire. Alyssa A. Carter Esquire. Peter Chun. Angelo J. Christipher. Sylvia J. Chihos. Christopher B. Collender. Gregory B. Connor. Alexandra R. Cortez Esquire. Stephanie Krigler. Marko Svijanovic. Samuel T. Servianki. Janelle M. Dane. Lauren A. Darwin. Charlita M. Davis. Victoria C. Davis. Caitlin E. DeBoer. Joseph C. Deloney. Gabrielle DiPremio. Curtis Allen Dixon. Brian Dodds. Margaret M. Dugan. Kevin D. Erker, Esquire. Patrick W. Etchingham, Esquire. Allison Ann Evans. Daniel B. Ferguson. Dominique D. Finney. Emily C. Fishman. Jeanette L. Forlini. Beth L. Fox. Shanifa R. Gaines. Christipher J. Garvalia. Anthony H. Garcia. Philip N. Garfinkel. Samantha Elise Gall. Alexander D. Georges, Esquire. Catherine E. Georginas. Alberto Raffer Gonzalez. Lauren M. Gonzalez. Priya Gopalakrishnan. Esmeralda Granados. Christina A. Gray. Sharina Gregory. Patrick R. Grimaldi. Melissa A. Greisel. David R. Grosby. Stephen A. Gross. Elliot M. Gusdorf. Patrick J. Hall. Brian M. Hannon. Tracy L. Harkins. Danielle N. Harris. Matthew T. Hayes. Jonathan Helwink, Esquire. Andrew P. Hemmer. Micah B. Hensley. Briseda I. Hernandez. Elizabeth Hernandez. Evelyn Hernandez. Gustavo Hernandez. Lindsay A. Hicks. John W. Higgins. Kayla A. Higgins. Gina Hong. Brittany V. Hubbard. Amber Rose Hunt. Robert S. Jacobson. Matthew S. Jarka, Esquire. Haley R. Jenkins. Michael S. Jensen. Justin L. Jaffe. Brandon C. Johnson. Christipher H. Johnson. Neil P. Johnson. Timothy Michael Johnson. Adrian Jonak. Zachary A. Jordan. Sonika K. Jutla. James R. Karmgard. Gordon J. Klein. Mihail T. Kostov. Anthony P. Kritikos. Daniel P. Kruger. Mohini Lal. Lindsay A. Laturno. Junpu Lee. Menji Liao, Courtney Litchfield, Rebecca E. Lowe, Esquire, David A. Love, Amber N. Lukowitz, Jihan Ma, Brittany McDonald, Saba Mahmood, Isaac D. Malafsky, Kirsten H. Mallon, Maria Christina Martin, Alexandra Martinez, Juliana Martinez, Aaron J. Massey, Francesca Mateo, Ala Albarudi, Laura A. Matsey, Kenneth A. Matyszewski, Brianna J. Mays, Evan T. McAlpine, Sean M. McCullough, Esquire, Matthew C. McElwee, James P. McKay, Alexandra M. McNicholas, Karina B. Mejia, Sadim Memishi, Jessica E. Mendoza, Vivian N. Milan, Michael L. Mitchell, Kamiyar H. Moenzada, Ana M. Montalongo, Kathleen J. Mooney, Ann C. Motto, Yara Marue, David M. Mucci, James H. Muller, Philip M. Musoff, Lydia J. Ness, Jordan J. Newell. We win. Tra win. Patrick Joseph Garland Oldendorf. Ariel Olstein. Kelly O'Neill, Esquire. Anna A. Only. Kentaya D. Orange. Therese M. Oriola. Charlene F. Osmansky. Junyang Park. Brendan A. Perry. Olivia M. Petz. Mary M. Peterzak. Matthew R. Pecor. Melinda L. Pelleggi. Theodore A. Pentilla. Deborah Piavazen Barbosa Avelino. Rodalton J. Poole. Holly M. Pope. Justin M. Prince. Michael R. Pasala. Leo R. Reardon. Colton A. Reed. Edith Rios. Elizabeth D. Romano. Gabrielle Romano, Esquire. Brian C. Ross. Aniuska C. Rovaina, Esquire. Anna P. Rueda. Andrew L. Rutkowski. Derek T. Sandberg. Kimberly A. Schultz. Andrew Sharp. Christipher W. Sheeky. Olga Scheinman. Michael R. Scherer. Colin S. Schumann, David E. Sill, Alexander C. Sims, Ashley N. Skowronski, Matthew Smart, Zachary Smith, Kendra Spearman, Juana Springate Escobar, Zachary Strange, Joseph P. Sweeney, Sagar P. Tucker, Tina E. Thomas, Alejandra Leon Torres, Elizabeth A. Tracy, Sharon O. Uti, Benjamin S. Van Aersdale, Holly Tyler, Michael J. Vignon, Sarah Bashir Varani, Daphne H. Walsh, Hannah R. Walsh, Christipher M. Warburton, Nicolette A. Ward, Douglas M. Weisband, David Welch, Deanna M. Williams, Whitney L. Williams, Sharon M. Weiskell, Matthew R. Yost, Kyle M. Zach, Yuchen Zhang, Yuan Zhou, Elizabeth C. Zubiata, Maria A. Ziskine, Dean Krent, this concludes the presentation of the candidates for the Juris Doctor.
We are delighted that President Alan Cramb of Illinois Tech is here to bestow the degrees. So will all the degree candidates please rise?
So you all may be wondering what a president can do at this type of event. There's only one thing that a president can do, and that is, by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Illinois Institute of Technology, I confer upon you the degree of Master of Laws or Juris Doctor and admit you to all its rights, privileges, and obligations. Please join me in congratulating the class of 2016.
Please be seated for just a moment. First, as we conclude, I want to thank the staff for an incredible amount of effort and successful effort in staging this event and making this such a warm and hospitable graduation for all of you. But also, I want to have you stand up yet once again, graduates. Graduates? For two reasons. Bear with me. Two reasons. First, there's an ancient piece of symbolism that we're going to do, and that is to take your tassel from the right side to the left to signify that you are now alumni as we are on stage. But the second symbolism, I think, is more important. If you could turn around and give a hand of applause to those friends and family that helped you get where you are today, it's more than well deserved. This concludes the 2016 Chicago-Kent College of Law and Commencement. Please join me in the courtyard for pictures afterwards, and also please stay seated until the academic recession concludes. Good afternoon.
Thank you.